Hello everyone, this is IGN's review discussion for Mortal Kombat X. With me is Vince Ingenito, our reviewer.
Hello.
Kyle O'Connor.
Hey guys.
Justin Legary.
Hi everybody.
And Vince, this is what you thought about Mortal Kombat X.
Yes.
Story only matters so much in a fighting game. Combat is king, and there's a ton of depth to mine for Mortal Kombat X. A much-needed transfusion of new blood, along with the ability to choose between 3 variations of every character, means we'll be learning, grinding, and discovering for a long time to come. Its universe keeps getting harder and harder to take seriously, but Mortal Kombat X is a great fighting game all the same.
All right, Vince, one of the things you call out in there is the story as not being very good.
Yeah. So my thing is, first of all, I think they did an excellent job, NetherRealm did, with Injustice. I feel like that story took a character that I was familiar with already in Superman and did things with him that made me go, wow, I care about this character in a way I never did before. So I was really looking forward to Mortal Kombat making me go, whoa, Johnny Cage has got something to him, or hey, these characters that I've known for a while that I haven't really paid attention to their story, there's something to them. And it didn't do that at all for me. It was kind of like in fact, if anything, it kind of took away from the universe of Mortal Kombat for me because it didn't feel, except for the parts that happened in Outworld with Kotal Khan, it didn't feel like a Mortal Kombat story. Like, what did you think? Did it feel Mortal Kombat to you, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat hasn't really had this full fleshed out story before 9. Like, 9 had it, and now we have it again. Do you really remember 9's story? No, not particularly.
No.
It wasn't particularly memorable. But I think there's spots in 10 that really stand out to me. The development of the new characters I actually really liked.
With the new characters, so you mean the story with the Young Avengers Mortal Kombat
Basically,
characters,
yeah, I kind of like that.
Jackie, Kung Jin, Cassie, and Takeda.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that. Like, they go to NetherRealm for the first time. The NetherRealm, right?
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Huge spoiler alerts.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alerts everywhere. We're talking about the story. Definitely do not watch further if you don't want to be spoiled.
And they get into some trouble, and there's also a lot of Johnny Cage stuff in there, and it's kind of a story about Johnny and Sonya, really, right? And how they've grown up and become parents, and how they're dealing with that responsibility.
Yeah, you mentioned Johnny at the start. I despise Johnny in every other Mortal Kombat game, but I really find him likable in this one, like, because I know it was the intention, but he's matured, he's grown up, he's got a kid, he's kind of trying to reconcile with Sonya. I really like that. I know I mentioned I don't like the Young Avengers, the Young Combatants part, but there is that one scene where they go up and they have to fight Sub-Zero, which I really like because of all the quips back and forth. Like Sub-Zero will say, like, your dad would have dodged that, and that's really good. I like that a lot. Yeah. Story mode, as well as I've mentioned before, Kotal Khan, the most compelling for me. He's really interesting. Obviously, no one in this universe is a good person, but he seems like he's got the interests of Outworld at heart in everything he does. Plus his level where there's that big statue of him in the background. It's amazing.
Looks super cool.
Yeah.
I just think, like, yeah, you're right. It's interesting to see characters like Cassie, characters like rather Johnny and Sonya grapple with the idea of parenthood and, kind of they had different approaches to it, and that's why they split, so they're estranged, really. So Johnny's this, like, single dad who loves his daughter and is just trying to bring her up in the world. Except when you take one step out of the story mode, you're just going to be ripping a hole in her chest of him. And it's weird to me. Like, that's why I don't like it, is because I can't imagine Johnny Cage as I remember him, as I know him, is punching people in the groin and ripping their heads off. Well, he never ripped
punching their heads off. He punches them.
Punching their heads off.
Yeah.
So it's impossible for me to see him as anything but, like, seeing him try to act like a normal dad and then turning around in the other modes and just slaughtering people. I'm like, you are a psychopath. Yeah. And I'm like, I just can't get into it. Like, I can't reconcile the two. Everything that happens in Outworld, I can. Outworld is a dog world where everyone just wants to kill each other and strongest wins, and that makes sense to me.
And it is interesting that, like, to me, it seems like the entire point of one of these story modes is to add context to these fights and give these characters, a reason to be fighting. And if you take 2 characters and give them a reason that they wouldn't want to kill each other, like you couldn't imagine those 2 people killing each other, that might not be the best approach.
Well, in 9 and in this story mode, you don't really kill anybody except for the final boss.
Right.
So that never happens. You never do fatalities in story mode because it is the canon story of NetherRealm. And so you're not going to do that in story mode anyway. And of course, the game's known for fatalities, so you're gonna do that in the versus mode. So I kind of separate the two as two separate products.
Yeah, it just gets harder and harder to, right? Because like then you have it, when you're even outside of story, the story exists, right? Because Johnny comes on and Cassie comes on, and they're like, oh hey dad, he makes some stupid dad joke to her, you know. He's like Mr. Dad Bro.
Yeah, he's totally dad
like,
bro.
oh, let's playful banter until I tear a hole in your chest cavity. You know, it's weird.
Here's my problem with the overall narrative that is told during story mode. They have some really cool stuff there. All your friends are revenant versions of themselves. They're like infected. And they kind of hint that that can be fixed. And then nothing happens with that. You beat the game, and like Liu Kang's still revenant, you know, Katana's still in revenant form, and you never really fix them. And it's kind of strange to me that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a hanging thread, but they also go somewhere with that because spoilers, Jax does get fixed.
Yes.
Jax does.
Yeah.
Nobody else does though. Like, oh, just forget everybody else. I feel like that should have been the story told though. You're like, oh no, all of our friends are in danger. Who gives a crap about Kotal Khan?
Yeah.
You know?
Is it a cliffhanger? Are they setting up Mortal Kombat 11?
Well, they kind of do.
They kind of do with that.
They kind of do with Liu Kang and Katana.
Yeah.
We've said spoilers, so I mean, like, by the end, Liu Kang and Katana, the Revenant versions of Liu Kang and Katana, are the rulers of the Netherrealm.
Yeah.
And Raiden's not so nice anymore.
I like that part. That was I'm really so happy.
That was cool.
That scene where Raiden rolls up at the end with the head of Shinnok. He's like, I can't kill him, and he just throws the head at them.
If anybody comes to Earthrealm, they will be met with vengeance.
I loved it.
Swear to me.
It was a cool moment. That's my favorite moment.
It's totally. And then he has that really sweet gold Raiden outfit, which I really want to find. I haven't found it yet. But yeah, that end scene was just so totally good. Total change of pace and tone for Raiden, who's one of my favorites. Yeah. And then he turns into this like angry war god defender. It's amazing.
So overall, it sounds like you two are a little more positive on the story as a whole than Vince is.
Yeah. Besides the young Avengers, young combatants.
Finish him. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we think about the story mode of Mortal Kombat X. For more on Mortal Kombat X and our review discussion, keep coming back to IGN.